Hello. So a lot of you have been asking me questions about the course that I run. If you don't know, I have an 8-week career course. It's called Accelerate Your Ambitions, and it is really designed for professionals who are really successful already in their careers, but they've come to a place where they're feeling unfulfilled, they're feeling dissatisfied with their work-life balance or their sense of growth, their sense of purpose, and they want to do something different, but they cannot figure out what exactly that would be and how to get it. So that is what the course is all about, and we do it in 8 weeks' time. And people have asked me, well, what is the difference between this and other career courses and muse.com and other kinds of career type research that I do online? And one of the reasons that I started the course is actually because I see a lot of people who are working with various career coaches and they know all of those online articles with tips and tricks, and none of it has really helped them to uncover what it is that they're meant to do. And so they're stuck doing things like CV tweaks, but all, different things that are just keeping them in boxes. And you guys might have experienced this when you're going to those job boards and you're trying to figure out what you want to do. You see all these jobs, or all these jobs. You probably don't even see that many jobs because 80% of jobs are not posted online, but a lot of times they don't feel like the right thing. Or some of them are like, well, maybe I would enjoy that. I don't know. Maybe it would be better. I don't know. And even if that was the right job, how would I go out there and get it? So this is really meant to help people to escape that box and create their own job role and then actually make that appear for them in reality through the hidden job market. So obviously a lot of people, the first question is they're like, how do I know this really works? I've tried so many different career courses and I've read so much and I've gone on all these retreats, and how do I know this is different and this works? So if you want some more stories of other people who have actually gone through the process, who were also really skeptical and really wondering, how is what's this going to do for me? You can check out, I'll put the link below, but I have a playlist of various interviews I've done with some of the students explaining their journey and their story and how exactly it worked for them. So I'll put that link below and you can check out the stories from other students. Obviously, your story is going to be totally different. That's one of my favorite things about this course, is that everyone is different, everyone's life purpose is different, and whatever it is they did, it's going to be different for you. But as long as you are as committed as they were and you follow the process and you dive in 100%, then you will get to that place where you have that complete clarity about what your direction is, what you're meant to do, and not only have that clarity, but actually get either that job, or if you decide your purpose is meant to be a freelancer or start your own business, get your first clients. And by the way, that's the other part of the program that was so important for me to create, because I also see people who, they might have that light bulb moment of, that is what I meant to do. Like I have a client called Laura. When she started, she was a production designer and she knew she needed to make a change, but she had no idea what. And so she was really worried that, there was nothing better for her out there, that she just had to keep doing what she was doing right now and keep working her way up. But she just felt that there was something better out there for her and she needed to get help to figure out what it actually was. So she signed up, and within 10 days time, she figured out through the process exactly what it was that she was meant to do. In her case, it was to be a project manager for a women's empowerment company and a bunch of other very specific things. So she had the crystal clear outcome of what she wanted, but as soon as she figured that out, how on earth was she supposed to get it? She didn't have that kind of experience. She'd never worked in the corporate environment. And so it was so important to me to make sure that the other part of the course is helping you to actually make that transition and actually get that job. So from there, we did that. And then by the end of the program, she had that new position. Actually, it was quite amazing. She got exactly the position that she had imagined, even with all of those really tiny details, including being able to bring her dog to the office. So that was pretty incredible. But it's because, she followed the process and she really kept moving even when times got rough. And that's why she was able to get those kinds of outcomes. So I also have people ask me the question, well, there's this thing I'm thinking of doing, but I have no experience in it and I have no contacts in it. So is this really realistic for me? And that's where the example I just gave you, right? She had no contact, she had no experience in that new industry, and that is why I created the program, to also be able to get you over those obstacles so that you not only have that clarity, because clarity is nothing without action. It's nothing without getting actual concrete results in that direction. So that's why I also created it, to make sure you can create that transition and actually start landing those opportunities. What else are people asking me? Okay, so another question I get is, I don't know if I really need help. Actually, Laura said the exact same thing. She was like, I feel like I want to get help, but at the same time, I am really successful. Like, everyone tells me I'm really successful. No offense, but do I really need to hire you to help me? Like, shouldn't I be able to figure this out on my own? And the answer is maybe. Like, maybe you don't need help. I don't know until I speak to you individually, but my clients, all of them, are successful people. So it's not a course, like if you are not successful right now and you're unemployed and like you haven't got your life together, this is not for you. So you're probably better off doing getting your life together a little bit more and building up your confidence and your success a bit more before you get into something like this. So this is really for people who are very highly successful already. They've accomplished a lot, but they're ready for a change in possibly a new direction, and they're trying to figure out what exactly that direction is so that they don't waste their time, energy, and money doing the same thing all over again that's not what they want, or ending up in another place that is not where it is that they're meant to be. So is this really for you? I don't know. I would need to speak to you individually, but if you're not sure, just send me a message and we'll discuss, and I'll tell you if it is or if it isn't. Another thing people ask me is that they ask me, oh, can you look at my CV? Can you look at my cover letters? And yes, that is something that we do together in the program if you need it. And it's a really great thing. Like Bevile, I looked at her cover letter, and the next day she was able to land the job she wanted. So we do really in-depth cover letter CV reviews. However, the important thing to know is that a lot of times when people are looking for a change, the first thing they're told to do is, oh, go tweak your CV, go put on your best face and send it out there and see what employers bite and see what opportunities come up. And what I found is that is the absolute worst way when you're struggling with your career direction. That's the worst thing to start with. So there's other steps before we even start looking at cover letters and CVs. And most of the time, when you start feeling like you should update them, that's actually a symptom of a deeper problem, which is that you need a change and you need to figure out exactly what that change is versus just doing more tweaks on your CV. So yeah. The other question I get, what's the schedule for the trainings? So the way that we do it is that you get a mission every Monday for 8 weeks time. And as you go through those missions, then you're going to be working on implementation steps. Remember, I said before, like, the most important thing to me is that you have a process and you're taking action and you know what to do. Especially when you lack direction, the worst possible thing is to just be sitting there being like, I think maybe I'll do this, but maybe I'll do that, but maybe none of the above. And oh, it's time to go back to work, and you forget all about your new future because you're stuck in the present, right? So you're going to be implementing, and then obviously we do, a lot of my main thing is I really want to support everyone. So I don't want to become one of these programs where everyone signs up and it's not personalized, nothing is tailored to you. And there's so many of these courses out there these days where it's all about them throwing more information at you and you just taking the information and hoping it works. But if you run into any kind of a problem, there's nobody to really talk to, and there's no one to really look at your own life. And I think this is super important, because especially when it comes to figuring out your life purpose, because it's going to be very individual for you. It's not like I can give you guys a list of 5 different job roles and then say, okay, pick which one you like. It might be something that neither of us even knows exists yet. So really, really important to make sure everything is tailored towards you and to make sure you have that support. And then I have some people being like, hey, where can I sign up? So if you are interested in this, then send me a message and we will discuss whether this would be a fit for you or not. For some of you, this is exactly what you need to get yourself out of a very long rut, which you are totally sick and tired of being in, so there's no point in staying in that kind of a situation. If that is you, reach out to me and I'll see if it's a fit. For some of you, this is not going to be a fit. I'll say this right now. It is not for everyone, but either way, when you reach out to me, we will discuss, we'll see exactly what is your situation. Is this really the thing that is right for you at this time? If not, no problem. We'll still see what you can do right now so that you can get yourself into a better direction. And if it is, then obviously I'll explain exactly what you need to do next so that we can get started and so that we can get you sorted and into that kind of a energy where you have that, this is kind of a woo-woo word, but that alignment and that clarity, and most of all that energy where you're excited to get out of bed in the morning again and you're living your mission and you love your work. And guess what happens next? Then you start getting paid more money and you start getting even more opportunities and you start feeling more like yourself again and your relationships start going really well, and it is essentially a whole new life. And that is what I want for you, because I know there's a version of you out there who is already that person, and we just need to find that person. So if you're interested, send me a message, and thanks you guys for sending your questions, and I'll see you on the next video.